and family-oriented weekend. Our group is family-friendly. Weekends are opportunities to catch up with your family, with your kids, with your friends, and kind of get some rest. Okay, so thank you and welcome to today's Word Round. So every Saturday, about this time, we normally spend about 1 hour touching base with our community, looking at things we can help with, answering your questions and your concerns, and making sure that you're on the same page. So in next 1 hour, you will have an opportunity to interface with me. So I'm gonna sit back. I don't have a topic. I'm just gonna be providing you with feedbacks. But a couple of housekeepings. Please, when you come in, we need to know who you are. So I need you to announce your name and your location. Your location is very important. Your location will help us to see what we can do better to improve services. So we have a couple of places you can actually go and see our providers in real time. If you happen to be outside Nigeria, you can also think of going back to Nigeria to get help. And we happen to have very caring, experienced, certified fertility providers in Nigeria. So we also make provisions for people outside the country. But if you're in Nigeria, you have an advantage. So please leverage on the advantage. Now, today is the last weekend before our big event on Sunday next week. Now, ovulation is a concept which every woman must understand for you to have a chance of becoming a mother any which way. We are gonna have ovulation boot camp. The boot camp will give you an opportunity to understand ovulation better, or if you are having problems, what you need to do. So if you haven't registered, I encourage you to register for that particular boot camp. Admin is gonna provide you with everything you need. Now, if you have a need to talk to me, to consult with me, it's possible. I'm very, very much available. But because we have a lot of people, I cannot consult everybody. So please, if you need that preferential treatment, look at the subscription, find the ones you can afford, then please follow the instructions. When you're done subscribing, send an email. When you get your email, we'll give you an instructions on how you can start your consult. So regardless of what your situation is, if you need to talk to me one-on-one, you can get that done. So we have 1 week, we have 1 month, we have 3 months, we have 6 months. If you are already confirmed pregnant, our duty in this group is to help you to have very good pregnancy so that your baby will be healthy, so you'll be healthy for the 9 months. We also have a provisions for pregnant women. If you are planning to be a mother and a father in 2022, we also have a special group for you. So everybody is free to participate in our group. So thank you, and I'm gonna go straight to providing you feedback. So at this stage, follow my admin. My operating officer is back from her leave, and the group expert Onyinye is also in attendance. Ebenezer will also join us, and Dr. Ndiche will also join if she's available. So right now, I'm gonna open the clinic and I'll start providing you feedbacks. Remember, if you're in YouTube, you can join us at YouTube. Just make sure you follow our channel. Every single day in YouTube, we normally bring you a topic of importance. Today, we're gonna talk about sex in pregnancy in our YouTube. So after this, I think about 2 hours afterwards, we're gonna go to YouTube and we're gonna talk to our YouTube audience. Okay, so let's go. Let's see what we have. Okay, so it's time for your questions. So let me see what I can provide feedback to. Okay, thank you for coming, guys. I love you guys and I appreciate you guys. So let's tackle the questions. So it's time for questions. Remember, Word Round is an opportunity to hear from me every weekend. This group belongs to you, so make sure you make good use of the group. Make sure you register for the boot camp. Okay, and we're gonna use this as a guide. This good friend of mine, I love this. This is the origin of everybody in attendance today. So this is what I will use today for my illustration. So let's see what we have. Ask your questions. The clinic is open. If you're in YouTube, thank you so much. Remember to subscribe. Remember to click on the notification so you'll be knowing exactly when I come live. If you're on Instagram, you can also check us. If you're in YouTube, please make sure you subscribe. If you're in Facebook, you can participate on 3 different platforms: my timeline, our page, and our group. But now it's time for questions. Please ask your questions. Ask your questions. It's open word round clinic. Ask your questions. Do you have any concerns? Do you have any questions? Do you have any clarifications? This is an opportunity to hear from me directly. Okay, so if you've been sending me messages in my inbox, the reason why I've not been able to attend to you is because there's a lot going on in my inbox. So this is an opportunity for you to get feedback, okay? So please go ahead and ask your questions in real time so I can provide you feedbacks. Okay, I have the first question. Someone that does not see her monthly period, is it possible for the person to do IVF? Yes. Now, if you don't see your monthly period, it's a medical condition we call amenorrhea. Amenorrhea is the absence of period. There are a couple of things that can cause that. Number one is pregnancy. So when you're pregnant, the way the body of a woman is structured, everything about bleeding will cease. So lack of period, number one thing that will come to your mind is what? Pregnancy. So have you gone for pregnancy test? When you're going for pregnancy test, make sure you observe the 3 protocols. Number 1, urine pregnancy test. Number 2, blood pregnancy test. Number 3, ultrasound. When you are going for urine pregnancy test, we are checking the so-called pregnancy hormone, the beta HCG. Beta human chorionic gonadotropin is the pregnancy hormone. We are checking the level in your urine. If you are pregnant, it's going to tell us you are pregnant. No contest. It's either you're pregnant or you're not pregnant. Now, when you get your urine test done and you are pregnant, you don't end there. You step up, you pick your phone, you call the hospital, you go in for the blood test. Your blood test is both a qualitative and quantitative test. Your blood test will confirm you are pregnant. And besides confirming you are pregnant, your blood test will tell us the level of the beta HCG. So it's a quantitative and qualitative test. A pregnant woman is expected to double the beta HCG 72 hourly. Now, when you're done with your urine and blood test, the next test to do is what? You go for ultrasound. Ultrasound will show us the evidence that the baby is developing inside the womb. So this is expected for all women who are pregnant. Now, if you are missing your period and you are not pregnant, there are a couple of things that can cause that. Number 1, it's possible you've gone into menopause. If you have gone into menopause, you will no longer bleed because you no longer have eggs. You have finished using all your eggs. So the process of menstruation will stop. The reason why women menstruate is when pregnancy fails. So anytime you're menstruating, if you are ovulating, there are some women that will be menstruating, but they are not ovulating. Some women can ovulate, but they are not menstruating. So that is the reason why you need to register for the bootcamp. But when pregnancy doesn't happen, the cover of this womb will shed off and pass as your menses. Now, that can be a cause of your lack of period. It can also be due to hormone imbalance. It can also be due to infection. It can also be due to the fact that you added weight or you lost weight or you're not in a good place or stress. So if you're not in a good place in your relationship, you're not sleeping, you're stressed out, it can affect your ability to have your period. So there are so many things that can lead to absence of your period. Now, if you are going for IVF, lack of period is actually one of the criteria that might actually qualify you to go for IVF. Why is this possible? When you are no longer able to have your eggs because you've gone into menopause, IVF is your only option. So if you are currently going through menopause, you can still become a mother, but you need someone else's egg. So IVF is indicated when other methods of achieving pregnancy has not yielded results. Okay, so yes, you should proceed and have an IVF, but please make sure you're going to the right place. We have a manual, we have a PDF that can help you to understand the process of IVF. Okay, so guys, keep asking your questions. Once I come across your question, I'll put it on the screen and we can continue the discussion. So does that mean that having your period means you still have eggs? Not at all. It's not a yes, it's not a no. Now, some women can bleed, but they are not ovulating. Some women can ovulate, but they are not bleeding. The fact you are bleeding doesn't mean you're ovulating. And the fact you are not bleeding doesn't mean you are not ovulating. I don't know if you understand the whole logic. So long as you have eggs, whether you bled or not, you're going to have a baby. But the fact you are bleeding doesn't necessarily mean you are ovulating. When you bleed, the cover of your womb, which is called the endometrium, has failed to receive a baby. The original design of every woman's womb is to have a baby every month. When God made you a woman, when you were in your mother's womb as a girl, you already have complete sets of so many eggs that you can use to start your family. But as you are getting older, you will be losing them. You'll be losing them up to about 400 when you are ready to start forming your family. So every month you lose one egg. That process of losing one egg can be positive, it can be negative. So when you release that egg, it's called ovulation. This is what we will cover in the boot camp. So you need to understand this better, okay? So the ability for you to have eggs is dependent on your age. Your eggs end. So you cannot have eggs throughout your whole life. Once you have exhausted the eggs that God gave you, you enter menopause. Okay, let's continue, guys. Keep asking your questions, please. Okay, let's see. Okay. Please, how can one avail yourself for the services, especially someone not in the country, as you are considering IUI and IVF? Follow admin, subscribe. You can come in for 1 week. You can come in for 1 month. You can come in for 3 months. You can come in for 6 months. When you subscribe, they will connect you to me. You will be set up. I will ask you a lot of questions. I will set you up in my WhatsApp. We will consult you and we can figure out how we can help you. We have sent so many people back home to Nigeria and they have good results. There are a couple of locations we can refer you to. Top on our list, we have a provider in Lagos. We have a provider in Abuja. We have a provider in Port Harcourt. We have a provider in Enugu. So, and other places. So when you cannot afford the service in your location, you can still get results when you go back to Nigeria, which fortunately, it's less expensive. Okay, let's continue, guys. What is the minimum weeks for IVF treatment? So IVF has different types. Okay, now some women can quickly finish everything within about 8 weeks. 6 weeks, depending on how you respond, depending on the protocol. So we have a short protocol IVF, we have a medium-term IVF, then we have a long protocol IVF. So what I mean by that, your body responds differently. So IVF simply will start with giving you some drugs, monitoring, checking your eggs. When we are good that your eggs is good to go, we collect the eggs. We also check your partner, we collect the sperm. We get both of them together in a lab. Then when we are okay with the production of the embryo, we transfer it back into your body. So the time frame for completing your IVF is unique to how your body responded. Some women can go and it's very fast. Some women might need to cancel and start all over again. Because when you are starting IVF, it's what you have that you can use. So if you don't have good eggs, don't waste your money. Go for donor eggs. The quality of your eggs and sperm will determine if the pregnancy is going to happen in the first place. Okay? So you need to be conversant with this. So grab a copy of the IVF PDF, read it. That should be your guideline. That should be your Bible. Now, this is what I want to tell you. If your choice and your option of becoming a mother is through IVF, don't delay. This is why. Some women might still have their eggs, but by the time they are ready, by the time they are convinced, by the time they now say, okay, I've accepted to go for IVF, you might no longer have that eggs. So the eggs you have today is the best eggs. Because this is August. You are expected to ovulate 12 eggs in the 2021 year. So if you have been ovulating since January, if you count January to August, that's 8 months. So you've ovulated 8 eggs. That's -8 from the pool of the eggs that God gave you. Once you lose them, you cannot get them back. So time is of essence. So if you have been planning, you know, there's a difference between planning and execution. Step up from your planning to doing. You see, the testimonies we share in this group is to encourage you to go and do your own due diligence and take your own action. So don't be caught up in the stage of I'm planning, I'm coming, I don't have this, I have that. And thankfully, our providers are very, very kind and caring. So in some situations, even when you cannot provide a cost immediately, so long as you can have a payment arrangement before everything is done, you can finish payment. So sometimes you might not necessarily have everything you need to start, but you need to start to finish. So you should start thinking about starting, because this is August. Today is the 21st. We have barely about 10 days to end August. Once we enter September, that's countdown. Refuse to allow 2021 to end the same. At least become pregnant by 31st December so that in 2022 you will become a mother and a father exactly how God designed it to be. Okay? All right, let's continue, guys. Keep asking your questions and I'll be providing you feedbacks. So relax, we have a lot of time. And it's an opportunity for you to get feedbacks from me. If you cannot afford our services, this is actually an opportunity. So let me give you a very, very important tip. So if you don't have money, you can still get the best and you can still get your results. What you need to do is to show up every day. From Monday to Monday, there is something to learn. On Mondays, I show up. I spend about 30 minutes. On Tuesday, Dr. Ndiche shows up. On Wednesday, I show up. On Thursday, she shows up. On Friday, I show up. Today, I show up. Tomorrow, I show up. So there is no day you won't learn something new. And I also show up every day in YouTube. So even when you don't have money to come and talk to me one-on-one, you can still get help. The key word is showing up. I'm practicing. I'm praying. I'm playing. The bulk of the role you need to play in becoming a mother, it's on you. We don't accept excuses in the group. You have to take charge. And this is not a circus. You have to be focused. You have to know what you want in the group. You have to avoid distractions, because so many people come in, they think we are just coming out to just, oh, I know Dr. Chudi, oh, this, that, and I can provide you the best answers. If you don't take what I provided you with and go and act on it, you must still show up in 2022. But I don't want you to show up in 2022. I'm sick and tired of seeing you crying, of seeing you complaining, of seeing you not a mother. I'm sick and tired of it. This is why I show up. I don't want you to cry no more. I don't want you to feel like God has forsaken you. God has not forsaken you. You're in the world. You will meet challenges, but you overcome your challenges. So I'm encouraging you to step up. There are so many opportunities for you in this group to become. So many. We've taught every singular topic. So knowledge is not the problem. Action, it's the problem. Act and let's become. We don't have much time. Does the two ovaries produce egg at the same time? Normally, they are in synchrony. So depending on how your body is packaged, the normal pathway is for one of the ovaries to produce one egg. But sometimes they can produce 2 eggs. Sometimes one of the ovaries can produce more than 1 egg. This is why when we are controlling your body through the process of assisted reproductive technique, what do? We take over the function of the ovaries. So instead of waiting for the ovaries to just give us 1 egg, We give you drugs that will go and challenge the ovaries to go through what we call super ovulation. So in super ovulation, we command all the follicles. The follicles are the vehicles that contain your eggs. So if you're going for IVF or any other fertility treatment, what do we normally do? We challenge your ovaries to release all the eggs in that particular cycle. So if you have good reserves, so this is where all women should be very conversant with. Every woman having fertility problem must go for ovarian egg reserve test. We need to know if you still have eggs at all. Then we also need to know the quality of your eggs. Okay, very important. Now, if you're going for IVF and we give you all those drugs, we keep monitoring you and we assure you are producing eggs, we are going to schedule you and collect all the eggs from the stimulation we've done. When we collect them, we grade them. When we grade them, we will use the ones we will use for that particular IVF. Then we can freeze the other ones for later process. Now, remember, when we collect the eggs, we use the eggs and join with the sperm to form embryo. So some women can have frozen eggs and frozen embryo, which you can use for further, procedure. Now, the thing about adult age, and when I mean adult age, everybody's gonna age, advancing maternal age. When you get to 35 years and above, you have a better chance of having multiple pregnancy. So in as much as you might have spent 15 years, 20 years looking for a baby, you can have twins at 45. You can have triplets at 48. You can have quadruplets at 40. So you have a better chance of having multiple pregnancy when you are older. That means you have a better chance of completing your family when you go for IVF and it's successful. So some women can go for IVF after 20 years of infertility and they can have 4 babies, they can have 3 babies, they can have twins. It has happened before. So this is a journey you must embark on with good knowledge. Unfortunately, my people, some people might have the knowledge, they will not act on it. Some people might be showing up. You might have been seeing me since 2015, and you might have thought, oh, this is the guy that shows up every day. I'm a member of this group. This is that. But my sister, let's be frank to ourselves. You cannot be showing up since 2015 and you don't have a baby today. Something is fundamentally wrong. Why? There are so many ways you can have your babies. There are so many ways you can become a mother. You can go natural, you can go IUI, you can go IVF, you can go surrogacy, you can even go donor eggs, donor sperm, and you can adopt. They are all okay. From 2015 to 2021 is 6 years. My sister, it is not okay not to have a baby for 6 years. No, it's not okay. Let's not lean on our understanding. Lean on God. There is a reason why God gave us the ability to become doctors. There is a reason why God gave me the passion to be showing up every day. I believe this is my mission, to lead you through the pathway. I believe I'm the bridge that takes you to where you will become a mother. This is my own duty. You need to play your own role so you can become. There is nobody in attendance today that cannot become a mother. Okay, let's continue, guys. Okay, please, can you get the YouTube name? You've been checking and it's not coming up. Dr. Chudi Ufondu, Snowspirations Health. Very, very simple. Follow the admin, click on it, subscribe. We share this information every single day. Very easy to join. All you need to do is to click. It will show you our page in YouTube. We have so many videos that if you begin to watch them, you can't even finish them for the rest of the year. There are so many important videos out there. So what you will do when you click on it, you subscribe. When you're done subscribing, you click on the notification. So if you had joined my YouTube by now, when you clicked on the notification, they will tell you automatically that Dr. Chudi is doing this by this time, by that time, so that you don't miss anything I teach about every day. Okay? So admin has already shared the information. So let's continue, guys. Please, what can one who's got poor egg reserve do to increase the quantity of the eggs? My sister, let me explain again. You see, you cannot increase the quantity of your eggs. Your eggs are there. You don't manufacture them. You rather lose them. So what you have, you will use. Now, I want you to be very factual and real. If for some reason, maybe because of your age, or you've gone through what we call premature ovarian failure. Unfortunately, some women might not be up to 40 and they've gone into menopause. Unfortunately, sometimes you don't know why things happen, right? There are some women, young women, some of them might even be virgin, but they've lost the ability to have their own eggs for some reasons. Now, your ovarian egg reserve is given to you and is fixed. The more you are getting older, the more you will be losing the eggs through the process of ovulation and a couple of other things that happen in the body. So there are a couple of other things that happen monthly that might lead to some eggs being lost, which we might not even know. But the one we know for sure is the fact that every woman that is confirmed to be ovulating will lose one egg every month. That egg you are losing is the egg that the sperm is supposed to fertilize. So there is nothing like, oh, what can I do to increase? You cannot increase the quantity of your eggs. Both quantity and quality, they are there for sure. So what you need to do, if they told you you have low or poor ovarian egg reserve, my sister, I know it will be painful. I know you might not understand it, but donor egg is your best opportunity. And the earlier you do it, the better. The reason why we offer donor egg is the fact that the person that will donate the egg will be a younger lady. She will go through so many screening processes and we make sure it's good quality. Then you can use that and you can have an opportunity. So this is an option for women that have poor ovarian reserve, whether it's menopause, whether it's because of gynecological problems. Step up and use your opportunity when you can. Okay? Where can one do ovarian reserve test? Everything you do in gynecology should be done under the care of a gynecologist. Now, this is what you need to do. Those tests has to be requested by a gynecologist. You don't take yourself to the lab and tell them, oh, I came to do ovarian reserve test. You're wasting your money. So go to a gynecologist. They will review you. They will even see if there's need for you to do ovarian reserve test. So it's always good to go to a gynecologist who will refer you to a fertility specialist. So you don't refer yourself to a lab and you tell them you want to go do ovarian reserve test. They will collect your money. When they are done collecting your money, they will tell you to run all the tests in their lab, which you might not even need. There are some people who will send to do one test. When you get there, they will convince you to do everything. They will tell you have staff, you have candidate, and they will put fear in you. The money you're complaining you don't have, you will use it to do some tests you don't need. So don't waste that small money you have. Go through a fertility specialist, okay? All right. You don't want to join the group. If you're hearing my voice now, you are already in the group. Okay, please, you want to ask, after removal of implant, what can cost someone not to see her period, not ovulating after 2 years? So here's the deal. Implant is a type of contraceptive that stops you from becoming pregnant. So contraceptives are those substance or process or procedure that will stop you from becoming pregnant. So contraceptives prevent pregnancy. Now, if you have implant, it means we put something in your body that will stop you from becoming pregnant. Now, by default, when that particular implant is removed from your body, it doesn't stop working automatically. For some women, it might take months for some of them in the body to be neutralized. Now, in your own case, my sister, 2 years of not ovulating is a concern. Guess what? Depending on your age and until proven otherwise, you have gone into menopause. Any woman that does no longer ovulate has done what? Gone into menopause. So the fact you are not ovulating means you no longer have eggs, which is very important. The only factor that will make you a mother is the egg and the sperm. Every other thing is secondary. So you can be bleeding for the whole community, but you are not ovulating, you're not going to get pregnant. Now, you might not even be bleeding, but you are ovulating and you can become pregnant. So what we should be focusing on is, some women show up and be like, Doc, I haven't seen my period. Oh, Doc, it ran light. It was very light and it was more than this. Look, I understand. When you bleed, it still gives you this assurance that you can still become a mother. But that's not the important thing. The important thing is the content. What's happening on the inside? So let's focus on the real things. Let's worry about the things we should worry about and allow the things that don't matter not to take the place of the things that matter. Okay? Okay, let's continue, guys. We have about 30 more minutes. Hopefully, I'm going to cover all the questions before I go today. Thank you so much, because they told you you have diminished ovarian reserve. So my sister wrote, you have to start considering donor eggs. The earlier you do this, the better, okay? Okay. Okay, I've already answered this. Okay, please just ask your questions. I'm still providing feedback. Okay, let's see. You've done IVF 3 times, and each time they will only get 2 eggs. After all the injections, you are 34. What do you advise? 3 times of failed IVF is a lot. Now the question is, did they provide you with comprehensive reports of those IVFs you did? What was the reason why they failed? There are a couple of factors that can lead to failure of IVF. It can be the egg, it can be the sperm, it can be implantation, it can be your weight, it can be the procedure, it can be the storage. So if you have gone for IVF 3 times and they all failed, we want to investigate. So first of all, what I will advise you to do, and you're 34, you're still young, but we want to know why. Why do you even need IVF in the first place? So the question is not whether you need to go for IVF. The question is, who is conducting that IVF? Are they following due process? Are they coming back to you to explain to you what might have happened? You see, the problem is sometimes you go for all this and nobody will give you any report. They will just tell you, madam, it failed. Oh, we tried our best. Oh, Jesus will do this. Jesus will do that. That's not the right way to go about it. Get the IVF manual, study it, understand the process, ask meaningful questions, demand your medical report, send your medical report to the doctor that will be attending to you. We will review and we do it better. Now, my sister, the fact we are getting 2 eggs as a 34-year-old lady is even worrisome. That means you have very poor ovarian reserve. You are not supposed to be getting 2 eggs as a 34-year-old. You are younger than 35. So you might be a candidate that will go for donor eggs. So I will personally not advise you to go for the 4th IVF until I've seen the report. So the place you're doing this IVF is very important. Who is doing it is important. The quality of the egg is important. The quality of the sperm is important. The implantation parameter is important. The hormonal level is important. Your body weight is important. Your stress level is important. Everything is important and it's expensive. So if you have gone for 3 IVF, that means you've spent up to 4 million naira all this while. So if you have to spend that money and if you have to go through that heartache, let's get it right, okay? So if you want to talk to me, this person wants to talk to me, the package that will give you the opportunity to talk to me is the 3 months package and the 6 months package, classic and prime. So follow admin, subscribe. They will set you up. When they're done setting you up, when you're contacting me in WhatsApp, we can have an agreement when you and your partner can talk to me. So you can talk to me one-on-one, okay? Very, very possible. Okay, guys, keep asking your questions. Okay, let's see. What can one... Okay, I've already answered that. So if your questions are not answered yet, please put it on the screen again. I'll provide you feedbacks. Okay, let's look at it. You had your hysteroscope. So when you're going for a hysteroscope, it's a special investigative procedure to look inside your womb. Anywhere you see hystero, they are referring to your womb. So when you're going for hysteroscope, it's a special diagnostic procedure of looking inside the womb to see what's going on. After the checkup, they said you have fibroid in bad location in the womb. You questioned the doctor why it was not removed. He said it was adhesion. He removed. What's next? You're 39. Now, I'm going to use this to make it very clear. Now, when you go into the womb, there are a couple of things you can see. Normally, when you don't have any pathology, pathology means a disease condition. We are not supposed to see anything in your womb. We are supposed to see a very normal endometrium. Endometrium is the cover of your womb. Now, in your own case, they saw fibroid. And from what you're telling us, they also saw adhesions. Now, this is what we know. You cannot remove fibroid at the center you're doing hysteroscope. But in some situations, they can remove that adhesion. So adhesions are bands of scar tissues that cover your womb. When you have adhesions in your womb is not going to function the right way because they are covering the area that the baby ordinarily should be implanted. If we don't remove that adhesions, you cannot become pregnant. Now, the question is, When they said bad location in the womb, there are two types of fibroid you can have inside your womb: intramural fibroid and submucosal fibroid. The determining factor on how you will approach your fibroid is the size, the location, and the symptom. So the question you're asking me now is the question you should be asking your doctor. But you're 39, so you don't have much liberty of time, okay? And you're believing God for a baby at 39. This is what I will tell you personally. Begin to go and consult a fertility specialist, not a gynecologist. Remember, there's a difference between a fertility specialist and a gynecologist. Before you become a fertility specialist, you would have first of all been a gynecologist. Then you specialize only on infertility issues. Now, when you do that, you have to deal with your reality. We have to review all your history to know why you have not been able to become a mother at 39. Now, with this issue you have, we have to see if we can remove the fibroid. When your fibroid is sitting in a place that your baby should be sitting and is affecting the whole way that your baby should be there, then we need to remove it, especially if it's bigger than 6 cm, right? Now, what you need, my sister, is reality check. You are 39. By next year, you'll be 40. By 40, it will be more difficult for you. So you need to decide today. Personally, I will tell you to go for IVF immediately. If you have good ovarian reserve, you go for your IVF. You remove that fibroid, then you begin to plan for IVF immediately, without wasting time. Okay, so that's what I will personally tell you to do. Okay, let's continue, guys. Let's continue. Hit me up. Okay, keep asking your questions. Let me start from the bottom. Sometimes you see, okay, someone is asking, do you have any contact in UAE? No. The only place I can comfortably refer you to is in Nigeria. But guess what? We've had women that moved from UAE to Lagos to Abuja and they got results. So we're not bothered where you live in Nigeria, outside Nigeria. You can go back to Nigeria. Thankfully, it's cheaper. Let me tell you the difference. I think right now about $2,000 should be 1 million, right? If I'm correct. Now, if you're in America and you have to go for IVF, you have to have at least, jokes apart, $12,000. $12,000. Now multiply $12,000 in naira. A lot of money, right? Unfortunately, in America, some of them might not be covered by insurance. Some people might be credit worthy. Their credit card can take care of it, but they will have a big burden. And remember, the fact you're going for IVF doesn't mean once you go for IVF, you have a baby. There is no guarantee, but you can succeed. Now, if you're going for IVF in Nigeria, I think I'm going to do a special presentation on this. If you're going for IVF in Nigeria, it's relatively very, very cheap. Matter of fact, for a neighborhood of 1 million plus, you can get IVF done if everything goes good. But you cannot do it outside Nigeria. So if you cannot afford fertility treatment, IVF, IUI, whatever, in your location because of cost, then you have access to go to Nigeria. We can send you to Nigeria. You can get your result. You can come back to your base and you can have your baby. We've had so many people that succeeded in that regards. Even women that are in their 50s, even women that have gone into menopause, they took their bold step. They went back to Nigeria. They became parents today. People came from Ireland, people came from Canada, people came from America, people came from Australia to go back to Nigeria, succeed, and went back to their base to have their baby. It has happened before. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 10, not 20. So many. Yes, we have done it. This is what we believe we can do for you. So don't allow anything stop you. Now, even when distance is a problem in your relationship, you can still become a mother even when your partner is in America and you're in Nigeria. If your partner can come back home once and everything is done properly and we confirm he's got good sperm, we can collect enough of his sperm and put in a sperm bank, then you can continue your IVF process even in his absence. In America since 10 years. The husband is probably 50. He married you at 45 and he spent 10 years. By the time he's able to come back and do whatever, you've gone into menopause. This is reality check. You might not like the sound of it, but this is my reality. So the earlier we do the right things, the better. The same thing is applicable to a couple that might be in Lagos and the other one is in Abuja. What you need naturally to become pregnant is 48-hourly sex. Whether it's bitter, whether it's onubo, whether it's sweet, whether it's egusi, you have to make love 48 hourly to increase your chance by default. So if you are not together and you are praying and fasting and calling the name of God, but you're not doing the playing, you're just deceiving yourself. I'm just keeping it real. You have to do all the P's. You have to pray, you have to play, then you have to practice, and you have to deal with your reality. Okay, let's continue, guys. You can see it's smooth. So this is an opportunity. If you haven't asked your question, if your question have been asked and I haven't attended to it, just hopefully I will get to them shortly. Okay, okay, I will do that. I'm going to run a special YouTube presentation on IVF process in Nigeria, and probably think about getting relative cost from my providers in Nigeria. So be on the lookout for that. Admin, please remind me. Can I please remind me to run this probably by tomorrow? Okay. All right. What is the cause of missed miscarriage? So I believe what you're trying to mention is missed abortion. Okay, so miscarriage is the unintended loss of your pregnancy before 20 weeks. Unfortunately, it can happen in so many situations. Now, top on the list of what might lead to miscarriage is what we call chromosomal abnormality. Chromosomal abnormality. So what's chromosomes? Chromosomes are the basic unit that makes you who you are. So every individual has a complete set of 46 chromosomes. 23 from your mom, 23 from your dad. So in this situation, there was an error, there was an accident, and that pregnancy did not proceed properly. That pregnancy will not proceed. The body wants the best. Once the baby in your womb is not the best, your body will reject it. So majority of all miscarriages got rejected because the body wants the best baby. We might not understand this as individuals, but this is exactly what happens in the body. Now, my sister, when you have a problem in your chromosome, nobody can stop it. It's going to happen, it's going to happen. But there are certain other factors we can correct, which can give us a better opportunity of preventing miscarriage. If we discover an infection, we can work towards treating the infection. If we discover your hormones are not within the normal range, especially progesterone, we can supplement. If we discover you have problems in your cervix, we can tie your cervix through the process of sac latch, and we increase the chances of you becoming pregnant. Now, if you have had miscarriage 3 consecutive times, so what do I mean by 3 consecutive times? If your last 3 pregnancies ended in miscarriage, there's a problem. Please don't go for the 4th pregnancy until you've seen a high-risk pregnancy specialist. The reason is because if we don't solve that problem that might likely be leading to you having miscarriages, the subsequent miscarriages will keep happening until we solve the problem. So there are some women that from day one, we have to start planning once you are pregnant. There are some women that once they are pregnant, they will be placed on bed rest, complete bed rest. So every pregnancy is unique. Okay? So admin, remind me to run a teaching on IVF and whatever we need to do back home in Nigeria. What's the cause of blood stain on second day of HSG? If you ask me, no big deal. Remember, anytime we have access into your body, so HSG stands for hysterosalpingogram. It's a special test we use in checking to see if your tubes are open or not. Now, people are wired differently. So if you had little spotting after that, I'm not bothered about it. Now, listen, your HSG must be done when you're not bleeding. So one of the questions we'll ask you before we give you a date to go for your HSG is what? Are you bleeding or not? Now, there's another criteria we must check. This is not the time to be careless. If you are pregnant, you don't have to go for HSG. Because what will happen if you're pregnant? Let me tell you what will happen so you understand it. At any point in time as a woman looking for a baby, be careful. Run your pregnancy test, both urine and blood. Let me tell you what will happen if you're pregnant and you go for HSG. In HSG, there will be a special substance we'll put inside your vagina. Then we'll flush. We'll use the plunge like we're giving you injection, and we are gonna take pictures of how those material will spread out to see if they can be shown in your tubes. If your tubes are open, they will have a spillover. If your tubes are not open, it will not pass through. Now, if you are pregnant, where will pregnancy be existing? In your womb. So if you're pregnant and you're going for HSG, you have already disrupted that pregnancy. So the criteria you must check before you go for any test or lab or any scan is the fact that you are pregnant. Now, always form the opinion of going for second opinion. Form the habit of going for second opinion. Unfortunately, there are some tiny percentage of women, once they tell them the pregnancy is no longer viable, they will go and do evacuation immediately. That's not good. Sometimes some people can make mistakes. The fact you're bleeding in your pregnancy doesn't mean you're going to miscarry. Yesterday, I thought about this in my YouTube. Now, so long as we have a heartbeat and you were bleeding in your pregnancy, the possibility that 90% plus women who bled in pregnancy will still have good outcome in pregnancy is very high. Majority of women will bleed during pregnancy. Sometimes it might be implantation bleeding. Sometimes it might be a couple of other things that might cause bleeding in pregnancy. But you watch what do you do when you bleed? You go to your doctor. But in your own case, so long as you're not pregnant, so long as you haven't started bleeding, tiny spotting or bleeding after HSG is just something you need to neglect. It's not really, I'm not bothered about it. Okay? Will Facebook user be able to view the presentation on YouTube? You don't want to miss out. Definitely. What you need is to subscribe. Then put your notification on. Once you put your notification on, once I go live in YouTube, they will tell you. Like today, I'm planning to go to YouTube by 3 p.m. my time. 3 p.m. should be, I think you guys, 8 p.m., right? Now, if you are a subscriber to our YouTube channel, once I go live, they will send you a notification in your phone that Dr. Chudi is going live. So you don't need to worry about anything. Now, we also announce every event on our page, on my personal timeline, and on our group. So what you need to do is to pay more attention. Stop only reading posts about babies and testimonies. Every single thing we post in the group, make our time to read them. When you read them, you will get the information you need. Every single clinic I've run, we have announced them 30 minutes ahead of time. So you don't need to worry about anything, okay? Okay, let's continue. And admin, let me put this on the screen. Okay, so this is our YouTube link. So if you can see this on the screen, admin has already provided you the link for our YouTube. So what you need to do right now in real time, click on it. It will take you to our page. You will subscribe. Then once you subscribe, you click the notification. Once you click the notification, you will never miss any of my YouTube presentation. Okay, guys, let's knock this off in the next 10 minutes. Okay, we have 10 more minutes. If you need help, get help. If your partner is not in attendance, share this video with your partner. Please have a family meeting. My people, you say, in my family, we meet every day. Everyday meeting. When I wake up, I check on the kids. We check on each other. Make sure everybody's doing good. We make sure we are all on the same page. A family that meets every day will run smoothly. No matter the problem, you can crush it. Now, if you are looking for a baby and you haven't met by August and you are not consulting a fertility specialist and you are not saving towards that and you are not doing enough budgeting, but you're going for prayer warrior session, you're praying and you're attending all those, what God cannot do does not exist, which I understand and I believe that God woke us up this morning and God gave you the opportunity to listen to me because I know that God will make you a mother, but you need to do the work. So you need to have a family meeting. You need to look your partner eyeball to eyeball. Emeka, we wanted to have 5 kids. It's 10 years now, we don't have 5 kids. What are we gonna do? Then Emeka will understand that both of you will go and see a fertility specialist. Emeka will submit his sperm so we can know if the problem is coming from Emeka or not. Instead of you, since 10 years ago, you have been the only person going about looking for a baby and the man is busy drinking and smoking and watching soccer. You have to have a family meeting. If your woman is giving you suggestion, listen to her. Some families would have had their grandkids by today, but because you don't have that knowledge, but because you're leaning on your understanding, meanwhile you show up every day in this group and you have all the information you need, my sister, my brother. You have everything you need from January to December. I show up. I do my own part. And sometimes some of you even fight me when I'm trying to help you. But you don't understand this. If you dare to step up, you can become. When you see the baby pictures, is in thousands. People you don't even know they are in the group will creep out, they will claim, they will like, which you love. We post those pictures to remind you that even when you're 50, you can be a mother. But if you don't have a fertility specialist by August, if you don't have a doctor attending to you, if we don't know the cause of your problem, if we don't know if it's female, if it's male, if we don't even know your egg reserve, my sister, what are you doing? How are you gonna get there? If you are going to Lagos, it's either you go through Asaba, or you fly, or you use train, but you have a game plan. How are you gonna be a mother in 2022? Tell me. So have a family meeting. You are getting ready to go and query God tomorrow in church and probably pay your tithe, and probably they pray for you. They should stop praying all those generic prayer. God has answered your prayer a long time ago. What you need to do is to step into your glory and become. Your babies want you just like you want them. Be focused. You see, in this era of social media, if you're not careful, you will be distracted. I saw one post. They were telling them to nominate the biggest influence in Facebook. People were calling names. People can influence you, and you can go to a group, you will argue, or they will take your mind away from the major reason why you show up in this group. In this group, we are not interested in anybody voting for anybody. We are only interested in getting you a mother and your father status. This is my only reason why I show up. Good, bad, ugly days, I show up. So don't be deceived. Don't be distracted. Stay focused. Do your own part. Pray, play, practice. It doesn't matter. Don't envy nobody. When someone shares a positive news, you come out and you thank God for them and you clap for them. Because if you can clap for people, people will clap for you. But when you see baby pictures and you claim the amen, you claim and you inherit, then you refuse to inherit the actions. My sister, I don't want you to show up in 2022 claiming anybody's miracle, because your miracle is already done. So you better get ready and do something different. Okay? All right. Let's wrap up. Okay. Admin, please quickly check and make sure that everybody's question is attended to. I want to make sure that everybody that came to my clinic this afternoon is properly attended to. What's normal sperm count for conception? So I'm not going to bother you with the numbers, because I'm actually going to, move your mind away from the medical terminology so you won't be confused. What you need together with your count, there's a range. It's the count, the motility, and the morphology. Okay? So this is not mathematics. What you need to make sure your partner does is to go for the seminal fluid analysis. Of all the three parameters, count is good though, but if you have billions of count of sperm and they're sleeping, you're not going to get pregnant. So we want at least a good quantity of the sperm to be forward moving and to be good looking. So please, let's do the right thing and ask the right questions, okay? Guys, yes, we have fertility specialists in Lagos. Admin, please, can you put on the screen the various locations where we have services? Can you quickly put it on the screen immediately so I can share with them? I've already answered the question about the stain after HSG. I'm not bothered about it. It's just, what we call iatrogenic bleeding. That means in course of doing that procedure, maybe you had little bruises here and there, depending on how your body is structured. Okay. Admin, can you quickly put the locations, various locations we have? Okay, and I will tell you this. Some of you might be in Benin. We don't have a provider in Benin, but we have in Lagos or Port Harcourt or Enugu. Don't stay back in Benin and in my backyard. No, get up and move to Lagos. Okay? Learn to go above and beyond. Don't give up anytime you have challenge. Go beyond that particular challenge and get what you want. Okay? All right, guys. Do we have any other question? I have 6 more minutes. 6 more minutes to 1 hour presentation, and we are done. So also keep a day with me this evening. I'm going to talk about sex in pregnancy by 3 p.m. my time, which I believe should be 8 p.m. Nigerian time. Okay. Remember, this is the motto of our group. We pray always. We play, we make love 48 hourly, then we practice everything I've been teaching you guys. Okay, let's see. Okay, here we go. Now, if you live in Abuja, Asaba, Oka, Benue, Calabar, Enugu, Jos, Kano, Kogi, Lagos, Nnewi, Osun, Owerri, and Port Harcourt, we can refer you. Okay, we don't have a provider in Ogun State, but you can go to Lagos. You can go to Osun State. Okay. If we don't have it at the backyard of your community, you can still step in and go do what you need to do. Okay. Do we have any other question? If we don't have any other question, then we'll be getting ready to end the clinic, so I can get some rest before 3 p.m. Admin, please quickly check and make sure I've provided feedbacks to all the questions. I want to provide feedbacks to all, not some. Everyone that came to my clinic this afternoon, I want to bless you by giving you a feedback. Okay? So please ask your questions. If I haven't answered them, you can copy and paste again. Admin, please quickly check, and I will attend to the questions before I go. I still have about 4 minutes. Yeah, and Admin, remind me to prepare a presentation on IVF in Nigeria. The title is going to be IVF in Nigeria. It's going to make life easy for so many people. And I think last month we had our provider in Lagos. He was our guest presenter. Amazing guy. Okay, let's see. So you had a ectopic pregnancy 6 years back. Since then, you've not been able to conceive. What are the necessary tests to carry out? You're 35. You're based in Dubai. So my sister Queen, do you understand what happened when you had a ectopic pregnancy? Did they explain it to you? Now, depending on when a ectopic pregnancy is diagnosed, if it's diagnosed very early, which is very, very difficult to do, most people, by the time they know they have a ectopic pregnancy, is already late. Now, if you had a ectopic pregnancy, what happened is, instead of the pregnancy to be existing in the womb, it was existing in the tube. That's if you have tubal ectopic pregnancy. There are different places ectopic pregnancies can happen, but the commonest place is in the tube. Now, if you have a ectopic pregnancy on this part of the tube, how do we manage it? It's an emergency, it can kill you. We remove this part of the tube. When we are removing it, we are going to keep your ovaries. So your ovaries are still going to be intact, but we remove this part of the tube. Now, what you have, and this is 6 years ago. So 6 years ago, we remove one of your tube, but your ovaries might still be there. Now, you are now contending with one tube. Can you become pregnant with one tube? Who can answer that? Can you? Admin, check. Whoever answers this first and correctly and tells me the reason why a woman can become pregnant. Let's make this a little bit interactive before I go. Admin, please check. The person that gets it correct. Can a woman whose one tube is removed become pregnant with the other tube? And why and how? Please quickly do that before I go. Whoever gets it correctly, follow up with that person. Make sure the person attends my bootcamp free of charge. Okay, so my sister, what you need is comprehensive fertility assessment of you and your partner. Now let's pray that the other tube is open. So we need to check a whole lot of things. Now you're in Dubai. They have a lot of good facilities in Dubai, and you're 35. That means you actually had this before when you were in your 20. So you had it at age 29, and it's 6 years, and it's completely unacceptable. Okay? So let's see who got it correctly before I go. Okay, who got it correctly? I can see a lot of people said yes, but I'm looking for why. I need to know why. Let me see if what I'm teaching you guys is registering, okay? Let's see who got it correctly. Yes, you can become pregnant with one too. That's correct, but I want to know why. Okay? Correct. The other tube is functional. this Blexing Moses is trying to get it correctly. That's a good attempt. I will actually give it to her. So admin, please shortlist Blexing Moses to attend the boot camp. The answer is yes. You can become pregnant with one healthy tube, so long as it's functional. Functional means it's not blocked. There are no adhesions. It's still open. Even this ovary here, if it releases the egg, in as much as we cut up this tube, the released egg here can still go and enter this tube. This egg can also enter this tube. So your ovary and all these structures are freely mobile. So the reason why a woman will still be able to have babies, including twins, including triplets, with one healthy tube is because you need at least one open tube to become pregnant naturally. Okay, my time is up. So I think the correct person is Blexing Moses. Okay, because the other tube has spare ovaries. Okay, somehow. Okay, correct. So the key word is patency. So anytime you go for your HSG and they tell you have patent tube, if you go to church tomorrow, you have a Thanksgiving. Patency means your tubes are open. Okay? Correct. Okay? A woman can get pregnant because the sperm, correct. Correct. So you need one open tube to become pregnant. All right? Correct. So congratulations to Blexing Moses. All right, so I'll see you next Sunday for the boot camp for ovulation. Please attend. I'm begging you. I don't want you to show up next year believing for baby. You know, when you believe is faith. Faith is the evidence that babies will be crying all over your house. Faith is the evidence that your next message to me will be an invitation. Dr. Chudi, I want you to be the I want you to be the godfather of my daughter or my son, and you send me a ticket to travel from America to wherever you want to do it. I will come. That's called faith. You cannot have this if you don't do your own part. So I'm challenging you. If you know you don't have full knowledge of ovulation, stop sitting on the fence. Stop thinking you know when you don't know. One of the biggest problems I've noticed in our group is ignorance and arrogance. Unfortunately, so many of our men are watching soccer today. Some of them are ignorant. Some of them might even be blaming you. Meanwhile, the reason why you don't have a baby is him. Some of you, if you have a boyfriend outside, you could have become a grandfather, a grandmother by today. And my sister, let's keep all this stuff, open. Look, if you're 40 and you don't have a baby, how old will you be? And how healthy will you be when your baby is 10? When you're 50, in the way the society is going. When you look around, young people are dying. People no longer have, good access to health. Your leaders are deceiving you. They come here, they get the best health. They will be 90, they will look younger. But you have a simple thing. You go to the hospital, the doctors are on strike. So you don't even have time. You're late. So if you're in your 40s, stop telling doc, I don't have money. Doc this, doc that. Do it for you. Do it for yourself. It's not for me. Believe me, it's not for me. I love babies, but I cannot have it for you. So this is August. You can still become pregnant in August. It's 21st. Boot camp is not tomorrow. Boot camp is next Sunday. Admin, please share the links with Ruth. Ruth is actually attending from our YouTube. Okay? All right. Thank you so much. Can we all appreciate our amazing admin? Starting from Kene. You see, this lady is a solid lady. When you have her in your team, you can go anywhere. Let's appreciate Kene for running this group smoothly behind the scenes. Let's appreciate Onyinye, the group expert, for doing an amazing job today. Both of them helped me to bring this 1 hour clinic today. Thank you for coming. I will see you guys by 3 p.m. Please, if you are interested in attending the YouTube teaching, we will post the link. When we post the link, click on it, join, learn how to read and interpret. So by 3 p.m., I will be back. I will talk. But it's going to be on YouTube. If you are already in YouTube, you don't have any problems. Okay? Thank you so much for coming. I love you guys. Everything will be okay. We are all going to become fathers. We are all going to become mothers, exactly how God planned it. Thank you for coming. I love you guys, and bye-bye for now.